Hello, friends, family, and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to another best of 5. Today we'll be looking at some games between Dream, the round of 8 finisher in the GSL on the bottom left, spawning as the blue Terran, and in the top right, spawning as the red Protoss player. It's going to be Classic playing for Team Alpha X, and Classic, rather than making it into the GSL code, as he got knocked out in GSL code A, which nowadays just consists of a single best of 5 match against someone you get matched up with based on seed, I believe. His opponent was Zest, and Classic lost 3-2. Of course, no real shame in losing to Zest, as Zest went on to go to the finals, and well, we know what happened there, but Zest had a good performance this year, that's what I'm trying to say, and losing to Zest, not that bad. Of course, still sucks that you don't make it into Code S, but no, at least you tried. Dream, on the other hand, did manage to get into the top 8, where he then ended up losing to Zest, actually. Also ended up losing to Zest, yeah. So both players lost to Zest. Both of them got knocked out by Zest, at least. So, that's something they do share. Maybe they can bond over it during this series. Talk about the good old times when they hadn't lost to Zest yet, and how it changed their life now that they have lost to Zest. Poor guys. I feel for them. This was a barracks second, by the way. Gas first opener into an eBay block. This eBay block got spotted way too late, which means that, yep, Zealot, second pylon assimilator. This is a terrible start for Classic. Or it tends to be a pretty terrible start, because you're just wasting a lot of money in things you don't really want. Like a second pylon before the Nexus. A Zealot, you never want a Zealot. Zealots are completely useless in this matchup, especially if they're not from a proxied gateway. This might get useful once charge is on, but that's in about 5 or 6 minutes from now. This most likely is going to go into Stargate, and then it is on Dream to call what he wants to do from here. So what he can do is he can just start marine production, or he can swap the factory and the barracks and start helium production. If it is marine production, as there's no second gas, I guess it would be like a single cyclone into CC, yeah, okay. Single cyclone CC opener is going to be the case here as this eBay gets taken out. The depth starts making its way across the map. This Nexus is delayed by more than a minute at this point, so painful little start here for Classic, who is going to be struggling in this game. Oracle needs to do something. This Adept, is gonna kill this Marine. It's actually a big deal. This actually is a really big deal, because one Adept cannot deal with 3 Marines, but one Adept can deal with 2 Marines. This means that Dream needs to give up his low ground expansion for a little bit. Huge error here out of the Korean Terran. Massive mistake. Almost loses another Marine as well. Loses another Marine. Good control out of Classic so far, by the way. He's gonna get this SCV. This Adept did way too much. I mean, sure, now the CC will be able to continue again, but that's a solid 20 seconds and 3 units that he shouldn't have lost just down the drain. Kind of a big mistake at this level of play, honestly. First Oracle is popping out. I'm curious to see if we're going to see a second Oracle. No, it's going to be Oracle into Phoenix. As Dream is moving across the map with his first Cyclone and 3 Marines. Don't forget, this could have been 5 Marines. Instead it's 3, and this Adept is the reason why. Yeah, this is just not gonna work. I think Dream actually just needs to go lick his wounds and go home. This Oracle is gonna try to cut off this army, and I don't even really mind that, honestly. He needs to control his Stalker well, controls his Stalker well. There goes the Cyclone. This is a great start for Classic. What started pretty poorly because he scouted this eBay so late, now honestly turned into a fantastic start. Look at the unit lost here. 775 resources down the drain for Dream. And Zest lost what? A single pylon, maybe? Or a Zealot. Oh, I guess he lost the Zealot. Yeah, the Zealot ain't there no more. Ay. Now this Oracle's gonna get into the main base, start attacking workers as well. Of course, you have this Phoenix to lift the Cyclone if you feel the need to, if your Oracle starts getting in danger. Same time, Stalker and Adept make it into the natural, start taking out workers here. We'll end up losing probably at least one of these units, but gets 5 workers total. That includes the kills on this Oracle, I believe. Which I think was 2 SCVs as well, but still. Good damage here being dealt by Classic to Dream, who has nothing. Dream is dead. He is completely out of it. I don't think Classic is aware how dead Dream is, because otherwise I don't think he'd actually get a Nexus. Like, Dream is going to play a... Oh, he's actually going to throw down on eBay. I thought Dream was going to go for like a 2-Rex with 3-4 tanks and then pull 10 FCVs. Because, let's be real, there's just no way that this is going to go into a macro game that is semi-even. Another 5 workers go down, good lift there out of Classic. Very solid control on these Phoenixes so far. I have been liking this. I have Stalkers on the way, so it's going to be blinked. And with a Phoenix count this high, I would have thought charge. Okay, it's going to be charge. But then why the 5 Stalkers? Maybe he wants to become aggressive here. I don't think that is really something you can do at this point. I could be wrong, of course, but I don't think I am. Like these 5 Stalkers, 4 Phoenixes, 1 Oracle. There's a bunker, 6 Marines here. The tank. I mean, this should not be a viable play. Yeah, this is wasted money into those Stalkers. Could have been extra gateways. Could have been faster tech, maybe a Templar Archives, or perhaps even more Phoenixes a little bit quicker. So, not the greatest play there out of Classic. I'm also surprised he's so far on the map. Like, you don't have Blink, right? No Blink. Maybe he thinks he's getting Blink? Nah, he must know he's getting charge. This is so odd. Like, this is just risky. I don't understand this. I don't understand a lot of things, but I'm supposed to understand this thing. Yeah, StarCraft is the one thing I am supposed to know things about, but this... Confusing move. Very confusing move. Like a single stim could just kill 3-4 Stalkers there. It's just a fact. Imagine a Marauder with concussive here. We're gonna see some kiting. Yeah, okay, this is hilarious. Dream doesn't believe that he doesn't have Blink. Because like... Oh, it was a bait. Oh, did Dream see that? Oh well. Still ran the tank in. That was sick. Quick reaction. Like he walked through the bushes, spotted it, and clicked back, all within like a half a millisecond. That was mental. Actually mental. There's actually a sizable army as well here for Dream, and Salads are very good though. And the next Salad Warping is going to be absolutely pivotal. Because at that point, +1 is about to finish as well. Ooh, it's gonna get caught with a couple of these Phoenixes. Oh, Hero Marine! Oh. Was so close, he could see it. His gun was already, you know, starting to turn a little bit, turn and twist. And he pulled the trigger, but no bullets came out. That bad boy escaped with 3 HP. Lucky man. Lucky man indeed. Alright. Dream once again pushing forward. This time at an alternative angle. We'll be trying to maybe take out this gateway. This is a cool position, by the way. I do like this position. Tank kind of semi-hidden. So here comes the flank. 8 Marines go up onto the high ground. 16 Marines go up onto the high ground. Maybe pick up everything, buddy. Maybe pick up everything because you need... Whoa, can you fight this? Holy crap, this position is good for Dream. Holy crap, this position is good for Dream. He's still most likely going to lose this fight, don't get me wrong, but this actually was the best fight he could have hoped for. I can't believe Classic decided to attack into this. Look at the supply, he's actually getting a little bit closer. Now, don't get me wrong, Classic has such a massive lead that I don't think this is going to matter, and I don't think it should matter, but if this is the type of fight you're willing to take, then I think being Dream, you're going to be confident going to the next games in this best of 5. We have a Ghost Academy on the way, Barracks 4 and 5, so extremely late. Yeah, just had no money. He actually has a good worker count, by the way. He's getting a couple of mines. Yeah, 14 Marines against 20 Zealots is crap. That's the word I wanted to use. It's garbage. Trash tier. 6 mines are here. The production just isn't big enough here for Dream. That's really the issue. He's building, what, 3-4 Marines at the same time. He's freaking... He's 2 tech labs, right? Yeah, he's 2 tech labs. He's just gonna die. He can build 4 Marines at once. That's it. Yeah, it's gonna get absolutely blasted in this fight, even though Classic decided to not micro whatsoever. Tanks every single hit face first and the full splash with all of his Zealots. But he's so far ahead at this point that it doesn't even matter. Game 1 goes to Classic. Game number 2 is going to be played on Blackburn as we see the first SCV making its way downtown. Walking fast, and he's not homebound, but he's on his way to the barracks. to build a barracks. Could be over here. This is a nasty location, by the way. It hits so ridiculously quick. It's actually disgusting. I hate it. Ugh. It hits you so fast, it hits you so hard. Here comes the barracks. This can't be spotted from the high ground, but if Classic is a smart man, and I know that Classic is a smart man, he's going to pop in and check that location, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing, and he does it really rapidly as well. You might be able to just get a cancel on this. Now, there is another annoying thing, and that's that you can't go all the way around the barracks, as this is a wall. I think Dream's gonna lose it though if he doesn't start microing this SCV. He's not microing the SCV. Ooh. GG. GG. Well, it's not GG, but this is an awful start here for Dream, okay? This barracks is supposed to finish at 127, usually. Now it started at 119. With a 46-second build time. I don't know what that means, but it's like half a minute late, I think. Also, don't forget the lost mining time on that SCV and losing an SCV this early into the game. Massively expensive. Just massively expensive, okay? He's down, I would say, about 200 minerals at the 2-minute mark. That is a crazy amount of money, okay? That is a crazy amount of money. I do not envy his position one bit. Here comes the CC down at 155. Usually that goes down at 142. And normally there's also an orbital on the way already. So it's just... everything is just so ridiculously delayed here. And it's painful. It really is painful here for Dream. He's going to perform some magic. He'll need to perform some magic. Doesn't need to pray for magic. He just needs to perform it. Needs to show that he's capable of magic. Sure, it's your best Penn and Teller impression here, my friend, because you're going to need to pull some tricks that we haven't seen before. Stargate is on the way for Classic on the other hand. Classic, of course, didn't really cut anything. He just, well, he cut that SCV a new one. Tore that SCV a new one with that probe. But so far, he hasn't been in, like, it's not like his Stargate is delayed because he killed that barracks, right? There's no, oh my god, the shade is so beautiful and high detail. I never paid attention to that. Such a beautiful animation. That's ridiculous. Wow. Look at that. That looks really nice. What doesn't look really nice though is the fact that, well, this orbital is at least gonna finish, and there's 3 SCVs, two of them with red health. I'm not a huge fan of the Phoenix here. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud. The mainstream media won't broadcast it, but I'm not a massive fan of the Phoenix. If this was an Oracle, I really would have liked it. Everything is delayed on the side of Dream. You can start poking in with that. You know your opponent's marine count is going to be low because his barracks is delayed by like 30 seconds. Like, the amount of pressure you can put on with an Oracle would be massive. Just absolutely huge. Instead, we're going to see a Phoenix save up, and I feel like that's not giving away his lead, but it's not leveraging the fact that his opponent had a delayed barracks. And I think that's a mistake. There once was a game between Scarlet and the Muslim in, I think it was IPL 3. And in this game, the Muslim opened up with a 2-Rex, and rather than building a spawning pool, Scarlet accidentally built an Evo chamber. This was the first tournament, the breakout tournament of Scarlet, by the way. And rather than capitalizing on the fact that the Muslim's opponent didn't have a spawning pool, because Scarlet accidentally built an Evo chamber, they regamed. And I always thought that was one of the oddest things, because whenever you get an advantage because of a massive mistake of your opponent, or anyway, you always should abuse it as much as possible. That doesn't sound very sportsmanship-like, but this is competition. And if your opponent messes up and there's no technical difficulty on their part, like if they're just nervous and they mess up, I'm going to abuse that. And I think Classic here should have abused the fact that there wasn't enough Marines. This was one of the longest stories for a very mediocre point, but I'm completely down with it. So yeah, it feels like at this point Dream is not in a good position necessarily, like his barracks are late, but he's in a playable position. I mean, he hasn't lost that many workers, he lost 2. And the longer the game goes on, the less interesting that's going to become for this game, right? Like, right now there is maybe a 7 or 8 supply lead, maybe a 10 supply lead for Classic. That is huge if both of you have 40 supply, right? Then it's 40 versus 30. But if both of you are at 180, or Classic is at 180, then Dream would be at like 170-ish. Now, of course, it doesn't quite work like that, because Classic also is going to have a bigger eco advantage, because he is allowed to get a third a bit faster, that type of stuff. But advantages, there tends to be a point where your advantage is at the biggest. And that is the point where you should be abusing your advantage. And then it kind of, you know, the advantage weathers and other things come up, like maybe your opponent will get better tech, or he'll manage to get a fast third CC, and all of a sudden the game is even again, and your power spike is over. And I think Classic here kind of missed that power spike. It's interesting to think about, is that his opponent delayed his barracks for a long time because he lost the barracks, and he didn't abuse it. It's like, well, then all there really is that happened is your opponent has like 150 less minerals. Like, the fact that there's 3 less marines matters a whole lot less right now, because there's 20 marines. So this really is the longest criticism I've ever given on someone opening up with a Phoenix first. Should have made a paper out of it, honestly. Holy crap. Publish it on Google Scholar. Get it peer reviewed. The actual Dream. Alright. Triple depot wall. Dream is still kind of careful and extremely afraid, for a good reason, of course. He is behind. Classic is going to go for a similar move as last game, where he proxies a gateway and then starts reinforcing from there. This can be a tricky map to attack, and look how defensive Dream is. Dream is actually just playing SimCity at this point. You know, he abandoned his StarCraft 2 career and is building buildings, building walls. It's an easy wall, by the way, here with these 3 depots. And we see a couple of mines being set up as well, some base defense, 5 barracks done. Needs to make sure that these Phoenixes can pick off his reinforcement lines, or just his production in general. And now we see Classic moving in. I still think Classic is just straight up gonna win here, honestly. This can be a tricky map, though, to attack into, but Classic is just... Classic's in a good spot, alright. Classic's in a brilliant spot. His gateway count is at, what, 9? +1 armor is not done yet, which is a little bit surprising, but he has +1 attack. Here he goes. Mine shot's actually hitting pretty big here. I'm surprised that's the case. This was a really good fight for Dream once again. So far, Dream's plan in this game seems to be to get really far behind and then almost manage to make it work. I'd love to see an eBay over here. That would help so much. Like, these depots are nice, but an eBay here, man, that would be a banger. Phoenix is looking for damage. Here once again comes Classic. Look at this control out of Dream. This is so beautiful. Just knowing when to stand still and shoot, and knowing when to kite back. This is... Oh my god, these mine shots are huge. 14 workers are going down. The CC is going to... Is it going to fall? Yes, it's going to fall. But look how close the supplies are. This is ridiculous. That was one of the worst fights that Classic could have taken. He took it. He's still ahead. Honestly... Even though Classic most likely is going to be up 2-0 after this game, I feel like Dream should be getting more and more confident. Just every single game that passes by, Classic is taking worse fights. Now, I understand that sometimes if you're far ahead, you don't care too much about how you're gonna fight, but this has been really low tier control so far. And I completely understand. Like, I do this all the time as well. Well, this is my standard control, even if I'm behind, but... I'm just surprised that Classic isn't a little bit more careful. Like, that last fight, if he doesn't get the 3rd CC, the game actually would be even all of a sudden. Or at least, it wouldn't be even. It wouldn't be as great anymore for Classic. Like, it would actually be very playable. Now Dream still needs to go for a kill move, because that 3rd CC is gone. He's gonna pull the boys. You have 12 mines, though. +2 is not going to finish up for either player. What's the medevac count? We're at 3. It's a little bit low. That is a little bit low. 12, 11 mines. That is such a high mine count. I think a mine drop happened in the main base and up into the natural as well. I think the army supply is close. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Burrow, 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 burrow. Yep, there we go. 1 mine is going to go down before anything happens. A couple more mines are setting up right now. Here comes the flank from the side. Flank from the side is good. Oh my god, huge mine hits, but I just don't think there isn't enough Dream here to really deal with this. Once again, ends up being a pretty darn close fight, and there's just not enough anti-air at this point. I can't believe that Classic ends up winning this game because he has 10 Phoenixes, and there's no anti-air. There's still about 6-7 mines in position. This game was really well done out of Dream, honestly, except for the fact that he lost his first barracks to a probe. Like, this game was played as well as he could, probably. Like, this is... I don't want to say it was perfect, but it was really close to it. Like, he played this so freaking well. GG gets called, and Classic all of a sudden is up 2-0 in this best of 5. This is going to be game 3. And I believe this is one of them best of 5s in which no matter the result, we're going to be seeing game 4 and 5. So even if Classic wins this, we'll still get a game 4 and a game 5. Honestly, I have my doubts that Classic will win this, as Dream has just been looking really strong, even though he's down 2-0. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it is just the way it is. You know, he's just been looking extremely powerful. And he's feeling powerful. You know, his micro has been on point. He's been getting himself in some mediocre situations. You know, we can say it as it is. He's been getting in bad situations. All right, but then he's almost been able to get out of them. And I think that is the skill that's going to decide who will win this series. I'm generally a big Dream fan. I'm also a Classic fan, but I love Dream. Okay, this is one of the many curiosities of the Tavern Race. This SCV Scout, if it would have arrived 2 seconds faster, would have been able to block that Nexus. Instead, Dream decided to not send it out that fast, and now he couldn't block the Nexus. I never understood why Terrans don't send it out just 2 seconds quicker. It seems like an easy fix, and then you can walk around, block the Nexus a little bit, laugh at your opponent, and maybe they need to build a pylon before their Nexus. It's really annoying, generally, and it doesn't cost much more, right? What are 2 seconds, if you're gonna send it out already? Like, I understand if you don't want to scout, then this is another good alternative, but if you want to scout at that timing, then might as well make it 2 seconds faster. So we see a lot of scouting going on here for Dream as well. He's looking for a pylon. Saw that there's 2 pylons on the other side of the map. Right, yeah, saw that pylon. Saw this pylon. So we have Reactor first as well coming out of Dream here. So we're going to be getting a bunch of Marines out. Always nice against these Stargate openers. It's going to be a factory follow-up and probably a second gas. I will assume that it's going to be a second gas, as it usually is. And then we'll have to see what they'll do. Potentially could be a proxy starport, even though I'm not quite sure what he would be using that proxy starport for. So, yep, second gas goes down, orbital command starts, and the bunker is finished. Weird positioning for the bunker, by the way. Still some space here where Stalkers potentially could walk, but it is what it is. I don't think that's going to get abused too much over here. What are you doing? Might be a starport, actually. It could be a starport. Fast stack lab, straight starport. I guess Classic has been playing a lot of that Oracle opener, huh? And now straight Cyclone is going to be the answer here. Could also still be a fast Raven or Banshee. Yeah, might just be Raven actually, but that is a very odd call considering the fact that that it was Stargate every single game. So maybe Banshee? Kind of feeling maybe a Banshee here. Wouldn't mind that. Ooh, a battle cruiser. Third gas is going down. All right. That is extremely interesting. Fusion core. Hasn't gone down yet. Actually starts a Raven. It's slightly supply blocked as well. And now it's going to lose 2 workers. Is it a fake gas? No, he started mining it. I am very confused. Sense a third guy in gas? It's not mech either. He's not building it. Maybe he wants 2 Ravens? Or follow this up with Banshees? I mean, you can do that off 2 gas. He's just floating 300 gas already. Only mines 60 from here. He's never gonna get a lower gas count. I mean, he needs to start Stim, Combat Shield, get 2 reactors going, +1. It's like 300 gas. He's currently floating 450. And 100 gas was mined out of this. This is costing him a crap ton of money. He's gonna have such a small army because of this. What a weird start again. Look. He's mined 150 gas and he hasn't gone below 200 at this point. Okay, now he used it. Okay. So at this point it was useful. As he used it for both the reactors. I mean, was it... Oh no, wait, that was Classics gas. I'm sorry. Yeah, Dreams gas is still at 340. Yeah, it just is completely useless. He's never gone below 200 gas. And he's only mined 200 gas. He's floating 400 gas at this point. What a weird build order. This must have been an error. He must have been making a mistake somewhere, mentally. Like, he's going into 5 racks as well and he's building pure marine. He's just floating 400 gas. This is unbelievable. Okay, stasis wards going down. These have been not brilliant so far, but of course always possible to hit one here. It's gonna put a second one into the speed zone. I like that. Makes the speed zone, you know, makes everything a little bit harder to see as there's some green things happening over there. You could be like, oh, what's going on? It's like, well, stasis ward. That's what's going on. We'll see if Dream walks into it. I think you'd go through the middle. Go through both of these speed zones, then you decide left side or right side. Sometimes even hit through the speed zone, albeit somewhat unlikely. Okay, it gets the first stasis, full-on hit. What's that? 6 and a 9 marines. Yeah, you can't push anymore now, I think. 9 marines, not there. 26 marines and 9 aren't there. That's 1/3. That's a crap ton of marines that aren't there. You just don't have the damage output in this case. Now, luckily there's no phoenixes, so he can't really chase this army. Luckily for Dream, that is. The problem is that Storm, I think, just finished up. And if you have an army that consists of 28 marines, 2 marauders and a raven, and 2 mines, yeah, ideally... Yeah, Storm is actually ideal. That's exactly what you want. Oh my god. Yeah, this is awful. That's really bad. That's a really, really bad start for a fight. Turret goes down into the natural. Warping in the main base will prevent this Raven from doing any further damage there. This Classic is very keen on stopping this without having any anti-air. Phoenix could help there. Now we have a push forward here coming out of Dream. He has such a tiny little army. He's going to be able to take out this first battery. We'll be able to take out one of these salads maybe as well. No, decides to move back. Probably the correct call. Is there still a tag on his army at this point? The Raven, did it get back and do something? I feel like it did something, and there's no energy left at least. Potential for a drop is here. It's indeed what's going to happen. There's too many units though in the main base. Phoenix is about to be out. Needs to idle into dead space now. Bring this army forward. Move it either into this zone or rotate into the natural, all the way from the top to pull units out of position. Personally, I wouldn't mind an attack into the natural. Probably would pull some of the main base units over there. Instead, he's going to be going towards the third base. Warpin is going to get destroyed by these mines. Marines will deal with the rest of that. Now, most likely is the time. Yep, there we go. Good timing out of Dream. Exactly as I selected this medevacs, he starts pushing in. A couple of mines do end up burrowing. Oh, good pickup there. Needs to burrow it still. Needs to burrow it still. Could still burrow it. Is not going to do that. Gets out of here. Oh, same time we actually had a prism in the main base. 7 SCVs go down. Is there a third CC? Yep, there is. Robo's coming down as well. Honestly, for how bad the early game was once again for Dream, he's still in a crap position. But he's in a crap position with a lot of units. And there is maybe a possibility for a drop in the main base. I say that and I see this and I think to myself, no, there's no possibility for a drop in the main base. There might be a possibility here for a big fight though. Mine hits big. Can we get a stim? Good control out of Dream. I like that. I do like that indeed. First mine is going to get the burrow off actually and will not die. Splashes on top of a lot of units. We have a fort base down here which is going to get cancelled. Stasis ward will get taken out. Will not get triggered this time around. Is there any Templar with energy? I think we have one. One storm somewhere, maybe. Yes, one storm. Second storm almost there as well. Third storm also here. This one still has a storm. Fourth storm also here. So 2 more storms are available. One of them will get casted. This was an okay trade though here for Dream, honestly. For how bad the position was before. Supply is now relatively even. I don't think he can keep committing though, especially once these new Templars show up. Needs to start thinking about running back. Blink is not done yet, so even a pickup would be possible. Eats one too many storms and ends up losing all of his medevacs, which is the real issue here. Bio units are replaceable, but medevacs are extremely important and very expensive. We have a mule rain coming down from the sky. 60 workers against 56, which means that Dream actually has an army capable of... Or well, an eco capable of fighting his opponent's eco. And with the ghost there, if you can hit before Colossi are out... Well, that is actually impossible at this point, as the Colossi are out already. But this army isn't that big. Like, there's not that much supply. There's a possibility here. I'm feeling something for Dream again. Okay, and he's also feeling it as he starts his second eBay and his armory. He says, huh, Kevin feels it, I feel it. Maybe get a fort base as well. Good location for the fort base, in my opinion. Make it a planetary. You have a pretty decent fortress setup there. No 2-2 started yet, of course, for Dream. Is lacking the gas right now. You know that the difference between these two guys is ridiculous. You actually almost never see that between a third and a fourth gas out of a Terran. A 500 gas difference. Good lord. It's kind of wild. 2 disruptors are being built right now, and thermal lance is 90... Well, actually... 80% done. I was like, how do percentages work if there's 100? I start doing like the maths with minutes to percentage, and I'm like, wait, it's just 100 seconds. 1 second is 1 percentage. I'm an idiot. Alright, we have another fight over here, but a scan forward should reveal the fact that this is not a viable fight that he can take. There's not enough Marauders in this army. There's 2. That's as many Marauders as with his first push. We all remember how that first push went. There's now 3 types of splash as well. So Classic is maxed out on splash. Like 3 out of 3. You know, there's nothing more that he can do. And against an army that consists of pure marine, all that Classic wants is he wants one of these splash damages to do something, okay? He wants one of these, actually also has Archons. He wants either the Colossi to kill, or he wants the Storms to land, or the Disruptors to hit. Same time we have a triple mine drop that actually did a fair amount. There also is one in the main base here. Also a mine at the fort, so maybe it was a 4 mine drop. 53 workers left. I think one of these mines is going to hit one more time, as this observer is 3 seconds away, and this mine is like half a second away from shooting. It's the Immortal, kills 4 probes. Mine in the main also might be able to hit. Classic's actually going to be going for an all-in attack here. Gets scouted here by this Stimp Marine. +2 attack, +1 armor is there for Classic, and 1-1 only for Dream. 2-2 is on the way. If Dream can survive to 2-2, I think he might be in a fine position. Oh my god, he still only has Marines in this army. Good first snipe there. Takes out the first Disruptor. Couple of EMPs. Can we get some EMPs? Good, sir. Interference Matrix. No. Hunter Seeker missile, or excuse me, anti-armor missile is being cast here. All the EMPs are completely hitting. Vikings dishing out so much damage to this Colossi. Look at that. Look how low these Colossi are. Oops. Problem is that a couple of these storms hit. There's still 3 Colossi remaining as well. Upgrades, of course, still better here for Classic. And now with the Zealots coming in, this Disruptor hitting, I think that Dream might just be dead. There's no Marauders left over. Blink forward. GG gets called, and 2-2 was about to finish up, but it was not there in timing. Classic is now 3-0. We'll be heading into game number 4 of this best of 5. Game number 4 here between Classic and Dream. It's going to be played on Light Shade. SCV stays at home after the past experience of his brothers, building barracks on the other side of the map, trying to build E-base on the other side of the map. This guy decides to stay home. Oh my god, this is a fast count. It's an eBay block, poor guy. Got sent out to do the dirty work again. It's gonna be a double... Oh, it was gas first actually, I didn't even notice that. Okay, yeah, gas first, eBay block. So similar setup as it was on Oxide. Honestly, the Oxide game looked really good until he lost the Marine. And then lost his Cyclone push. Like, if those two things hadn't happened, he was in a pretty decent shape. It seems like Classic doesn't actually ever scout down to figure out, hey, is there anything on my natural? He's now gonna do it because he wants to throw down a 19 Nexus, or 20 Nexus. A little bit unfortunate there. No scouts so far out of Classic. This feels like a proxy Oracle, by the way. Needs to immediately pull 3 more workers, usually. No core yet. I'm gonna go Zealot. Not a huge fan of this response, personally. Not a huge fan of this response. Much bigger fan of the 4 probe response. This is just better economically. You can also play that with double gas if you want, of course. Like, that's completely fine. It is completely fine to play a 4 probe response with a double gas. The Zealot just serves no real purpose. Sad facts. Could be a Hellion build here, by the way. Could actually be a Hellion build. Might not even surprise me if this is a Hellion build. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me. What does the Zealot really contribute to this little party? Don't forget that a Zealot is 100 minerals. It takes up supply. A probe mines about 1 mineral per second. So you could have 4 probes attack an eBay for 25 seconds and then send them back, and it would still be better than building a Zealot because the probes, they don't take up supply. Now the Zealot also has some purpose in that you can send it across the map to scout, I guess, but generally if you scout it very early, pulling 4 probes is always the answer because of that. It also allows you to get the Nexus faster because the probes actually take down the Nexus faster than having to build the Zealot. Also, when you do have a Zealot, you still usually have to pull 2 probes anyway to deny the SCV from keep on building the eBay. So you're also losing minerals there, which is why the Zealot is actually just an inferior response. Unless you have some big plans with the Zealot. But if your big plan with the Zealot is to send it across the map and to let it die against 3 Marines, then I would suggest not getting the Zealot. It's my humble suggestion. Zealot here is actually serving a purpose as a little bit of a tank. We'll lose the Zealot here and we'll get a Marine as a trait. That is not a good trait. And the Zealot once again proved to be useless. I love when someone opens a Zealot and it doesn't work out. And I was continuously calling that the Zealot was not a good call here. That's the type of stuff that makes me happy. I'm a sad old man, you know? It's like I hate everyone else that is doing well, but if they aren't doing well, then I see, I told you so. Life ain't fair, guys. That's me. Zealots suck. Now this Cyclone push once again is going to move across the map. This time might actually do something. He locks onto a Stalker that could be big. It's a couple of hits on that first Stalker at least. Next lock-on is available in 2 seconds from now. Gets the first adept. He's gonna get another Stalker. Scan. Not necessary. So what does he get? 2 Stalkers, 1 adept. Loses a couple of Marines. Is it bad? I don't think it was that bad. He's gonna be able to probably pick up the Stalker with these Marines. Maybe pick up this Stalker. Ooh, look at that. Second Cyclone on the way. Good control out of Dream. This is, I guess this is the goal with this build. Holy, is Classic just dead? Did Classic just die? No. Oh, that was sloppy. That was sloppy control. I don't think Classic is necessarily dead, but... Ooh, probe. Of course, not the biggest fan of that. I think the warp gate is done at this point, and 3 gates are done. So now we're gonna get a big warp in. 3 workers will fall here. There is a little bit of a follow-up here as well. Oof. It's a great start. Great start for Dream. This is the first game that actually had a great start, okay? This was an absolutely brilliant start. So we're on 35 workers against 34. There is no... Wait, there is Blink. Oh, okay, well... Blink, it could... Could it turn dire? Equal workers here. 3 gates. Prism isn't even there yet. Nah, unlikely. Very unlikely. I mean, he has a bunker already, just doesn't need to... Unless he loses all of his Marines right now by accidentally firing at it with a tank. I think it's going to be a difficult game to die to the 3-gate Blink Stalker pressure. Should really get a tank in the main base though, buddy. Yeah. I'm thinking, like, what's that tank doing there? That made no sense. Nice position on that tank, by the way. Here, look at that. Could start +1 as well. It's lacking a little bit of gas. Probably because he didn't get his 3rd gas at the 2-minute mark this time around. 3 more Stalkers. What's the Stalker count? 10 Stalkers. Not enough to one-shot a tank. Blinks in. We'll immediately get it. 1 Stalker goes down immediately as well. Not bad use of the 2nd blink here with the Prism. As it's often lovingly referred to by Zerg and Terran players. Interesting blink forward here. We'll get that first tank. We'll get the second tank before the siege is up as well. A lot of these Stalkers are going to go down though. And the worker count is still looking very high. I think this game is practically over at this point. Stim on the way, combat shield on the way, 2 Stalkers remaining, 49 workers against 41, 67 supply, excuse me, 73 supply against 55, and a third base on the way here for Classic. That's the only thing he's going for himself. Everything else is actually heavily in favor of the Terran player for once. Oh, blinks in. He's going to be able to get 4 or 5 workers and then probably pop out again. Always a possibility. Hop. Hop. Huh. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Storm is being researched. Once again, almost exclusively Marines, by the way. It's like 2 Marauders. 30C on the way, a little bit faster than usual. For Dream at least. A little bit later than the actual normal. These games have been very odd so far. 4 weird games. Sitting in a tree. +1's about to finish up. Concussive Shells has just finished. And all that there really is 6 Stalkers with Blink. This is a man on a mission. Actually, I think 8 Stalkers with Blink can beat this army. There's actually not that many units. This is a really small army. There's no units here. There's actually no units there. 2 more medevacs are making their way across the map. 50 workers for Dream right now. Still in a fantastic spot. Don't get me wrong. This game should be a little bit over, I think. So 2 of these medevacs are going to pop into the main base. Get spotted right now. And that is probably slightly too late. As oh, that's a big Artosis pylon. Look at that. Oh my god. No tasteless pylon to back him up. Now they're getting rebuilt immediately. 3 pylons at the same time. We have... what's this gonna do? A couple of zealots will get taken out. Pushing the natural as well. Dream is absolutely stomping over his opponent at this point. Will lose the units in the main base. Couple get saved. But yeah, 5 extra workers going down. +1 already done. 5 wrecks on the way. Dream is absolutely dominating. And this is what it looks like if Dream gets an early game that is somewhat acceptable. Ah, well, that's unfair. He had a fantastic early game. Who am I kidding? That wasn't a somewhat acceptable early game. That was absolutely marvelous. The type of early game you write about, you know, in your poems. You write to your wife that is on the other side of the Atlantic. Dear wife, my early game today was so good. I decided to write a poem about it. I wish I knew how to write poems, because then I would now recite a poem about the early game, but sadly that is not possible. 3rd CC is also done. Storm has finished on the side of Classic. However, Storm is only useful if there's also Templar that can cast that spell. You can research it. It's like researching Yamato and then messing Banshees. Like so far, Storm hasn't really made an impact on this game. Say it like that. Yeah, this is just game. This is absolutely game here. As the Marines and Marauders are pushing in. And I think this Classic just needs to step out. GG gets called. Dream wins game number 4. As I see that I accidentally messed up the score here, by the way. This is supposed to say 3-0 for Classic, and now Dream got his first game. So we'll be heading into game number 5, and hopefully get another good one. Alright, after the success of that last game with the eBay blog, it seems like Dream is going to go for a similar setup here. Once again with the gas first. Barracks in the main base, so we can get the full wall with the triple depot and hide exactly what he's doing. This time though, Classic says, okay, this is the last time I'm falling for your stupid tricks. Actually not true. Oh my god, he doesn't know the timing for an eBay block. He moved there at 103 to return minerals. Check for an eBay block. eBay block wasn't there. He's like, okay, seems fine. eBay block usually starts between 105 and 112, 113 are the timing, so you do need to stay there a little bit longer. Oh, I feel so bad for Classic. I actually feel awful for him. This is a rough start. This actually is a rough start. I'm not going to lie. As once again, we're gonna see probably actually a similar setup here, right? Probably a similar setup. Oh no, goes for the Nexus on the 3rd. This could trigger a different response out of Dream, though. Could be Hellions, you know? Hellions are a good alternative. Hellions are good in general. But so far, Dream seemed to really enjoy building those Cyclones, even though it went completely wrong the first time he tried it. We'll see if it's going to be different this time around. CC going down doesn't look to be Hellions for now. As no, third depot instead. It's gonna be Hellions. He wanted to go for, you see? He wanted to go for the CC and the tech lab on the thing, and then he was like, no, actually I want cars against this. And he changed it up. Proxies a starport immediately. Ah, this is cute. This is really cute. And the opener here for Classic is going to be a... What is this positioning on the Twilight Council? What is this walling off? Well, I don't know, but I like it. I'll give him 3 stars out of 5. 4 stars out of 5 I'll even give him. You never get 5 out of 5. So we have the 2 Hellions at the top of the ramp. High ground CC is going to be the answer here. Did Classic actually see the cars? I don't think he did. If Classic didn't see the cars, he's going to be in for one hell of a surprise when these 2 bad boys, or well, these 4 bad boys, enter the main base. It's going to be so fast. It's actually going to be so freaking fast. 340 is when he hits in the main. Warp gate will not be done yet. No extra warp in. So it's going to be 3 Stalkers, 2 of which are currently in the natural and 1 of which is at the ramp. There's no pylon here. He's going to get a free drop. He's going to actually get a free drop in. I mean, unless Dream forgets how to micro, this should be game, usually. It gets 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Good lord. Oh my god. 13 workers have gone down at this point. 2 cars and the medevac make it out alive, which is no small deal either. Hello? Boost it? Oh wait, boost wasn't available yet. I said nothing. I speak no ill of the people without the boost. As we now have the orbital command starting up on the other side of the map. Classic in a little bit of trouble, honestly. In a little bit of trouble. As the starport is flying back home, Barracks 2 and Barracks 3 should be starting soon. Tanks are on the way. We see the salvage on this bunker, and we'll most likely see a bunker being placed on the low ground. So these 2 Hellions want to have another go at it. I wouldn't mind if these 2 Hellions and this medevac sit in this dead space, and then whenever you get attacked by a Blink Stalker attack, you go in. But if you go in right now, I'm not a big fan of that personally. Oh my god. How does he find these blind spots? Look at this. What is this? Oh no, it's actually not a blind spot. Well, medevac will be able to get out just before Blink finishes as well, which is nice. Hellions are going to try to go into the 3rd base, and the medevac will go down to the single Stalker. So, the end of the day, staying in the dead space was going to be the play. But it ended up being not what was done. 2nd tank on the high ground as well. Now, the nice thing here for Dream is that he's aware that there's no 3rd base, which means that he can get pretty defensive here. Gets a bunker on the high ground, 2nd tank is over there, and now he's going to kind of move back and forth between his natural and his main base. There is 12 Stalkers out, there is no Prism, there's no Robo, and a Prism is going to be difficult to come by without a robotics facility. I've heard tell that the sentry... Oh, careful. We have a blink forward. The siege tank is going to blink. Is going to die. These Stalkers will get out, but I'm not sure if these are good trades. I think they're momentum-based good trades. So in this moment, if you can keep pushing, it was an okay trade. But overall, this isn't actually the type of trade you really want to make, right? 4 Stalkers for a tank is like, well, I'd rather not. The joke I was going to make before he blinked in, like a caveman, was that I heard tell of sentries also having prisms, but I heard that they disappear after a while. And there's no money back guarantee, so I would not recommend it. We have 3 tanks out. One on the semi-high ground, one on the low ground, and the second one is rolling down as well. It's stuck, or it's doing something, I'm not quite sure what. Its Nexus is falling a little bit low. I don't think you can be here anymore. Classic, it's best if you leave. Classic's follow-up is going to be 8 gate off of 2 bases. And what Classic will do here is a cool move. He's going to pretend to be on 3 bases, defend his pretend 3rd base, but instead it's his natural, and then counterattack with a gateway across the map. This is a good plan, and this is the only plan that I see that could be viable here. Now, there's a couple of things that Dream could do that would completely ruin this plan, and thing number 1 is doing nothing. If Dream does nothing, the game ends, and Classic will kill himself into his opponent. If Dream sends out a single drop, that could be good, unless Classic decides to attack. Or if Dream scans, that would be very good for Dream as well. Dream decides to start moving out right now. Almost losing a medevac there for free. And this is the type of position that Classic obviously wants, right? Like, tanks in the back. Here come the Zealots, here come the Zealots, here come the Zealots. And the first tank is going to get taken out basically for free. +1 is about to finish up. I do think Classic wants to wait for that. I'm surprised that Dream is going to chase, but then again... What? Did you just try to build a tech lab over there? An interesting call. Still no 3rd base. Dream is not aware of that. Well, he knows that there was no 3rd base last time he checked, but he hasn't scanned or anything like that, is what I'm trying to say. And Classic right now, I think this is what Classic should have done initially. He should have just sat at home. He should have said to himself, okay, I'm just going to pretend that I'm getting a 3rd base. But instead he tried to attack. And now I think Dream is a little bit wary of attacking, honestly. I also even wouldn't mind if Classic decides to send these Stalkers home, because these Stalkers are a deterrent from a move out. They're not saying, hey, come fight me. Come walk to the other side of the map. It's not an invitation, you know? It's the opposite of an invitation. Like getting some horse dung into your letterbox. Now, interesting blink forward here. A lot of these Zealots are being blocked, but with +1, of course, managing to take out dish out a lot of damage. Stalker count is still pretty high. SCVs are being pulled. Good engagement out of Classic, actually. I think Classic is, well, semi doing it. Hold position on the SCVs. Hold position on the SCVs could be useful. No, we're just A-moving. All of these SCVs are going down, and the AI of the Zealot isn't being bugged too much because of it. This is a little bit scary still here for Dream. Next wave of Zealots is coming in. Couple of Marines in the back as well will be able to help out. It is 1-1 upgrades currently against 1-0. Not having a Prism is really annoying here for Classic though. Blink forward takes out another medevac. Good target fire on these Marauders. All of these Marauders are going to get taken out. I think Classic actually has done it. I have no clue how. I have no clue why or when he ended up being this position he's in. But it seems like he's gonna win game number 5 as well. GG gets called. Classic wins the series 4-1 against Dream. And that's going to be it for me today. Thanks everyone so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you all next time for more stuff. Ciao, ciao.